Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Amazing Shinsengumi. We are on Sanosuke Harada's route. On to Chapter 7, I'll come back to you no matter what. You better, Sanosuke. Please don't die. At least give us one good ending in this game, please. I mean, these guys are real historical figures, so they're already long dead in real life, but still, I don't want them to have to die in the story. We can end the story before that. Well, you can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. It's hot. I'd better not still be in that burning building. My consciousness was still hazy, but it felt like something was wrapping around me. Something soft was pressed against my lips, and it pushed air into me. I slowly opened my eyes, and Sanosuke's face was right there. I finally realized what was happening to me, and I tried to tell him I was awake. However, my lips were sealed, and my body felt weak. I couldn't move very well. Somehow, Sanosuke realized I was awake. He put his lips against mine one more time, but didn't blow air this time. It was just a kiss. He held me firmly and kissed me. It was hard to breathe, so I opened my mouth. I felt his hot tongue enter my mouth. As he kissed me intensely, I grabbed his arm. I pulled it in protest. He finally let me go and he backed off. I was finally able to breathe again.
Thank goodness. You're awake now, right?
He knew fairly well I was. He started to smile at me. We seemed to have safely escaped from the burning building. I could see the blue sky behind him. I could still smell a hint of smoke, but I was relieved breathing in fresh air. People were gathered around. They were saved or were able to escape. How was it daytime already? Wasn't it night a minute ago? Shinsengumi soldiers were mixed in as well. It looked like there were still enough people to put out the fire. Hold on. We just kissed in the midst of the town? My face was burning red. They all saw us. How embarrassing. I hope they just thought he was giving me CPR. Well, he was. At first.
What's wrong? You're all red.
Give me a break already. None of your business. I turned the other way. That kinda is his business. Sanosuke's face suddenly turned red. Really?
Sorry. Are you mad?
Not really. You don't need to apologize. Well, he did save my life, I assume. I was just surprised. If no one was around, I panicked and raised my voice. Sanosuke was shocked.
I was talking about misunderstanding earlier.
He was holding in his laughter. My face got redder. If no one was around, what am I saying? This is too embarrassing.
You're so cute.
And so are you when you blush like that. Sanosuke embraced me tightly.
Oh, I'm not sorry for what we just did. I actually held myself back from doing more.
He whispered into my ear. I was going to thank him for saving me, but now wasn't the time, it seemed.
I'm really sorry. Making that big misunderstanding and making you cry. I should have told you the truth sooner.
Yes, you should have.
I just got scared. I was worried you wouldn't believe me.
Even you worry sometimes, Sanosuke.
You're the one making me worry, Chizuru. You never said anything when I hit on you. You were even getting friendly with Soji. How could I have held on to my confidence in that kind of situation?
Huh? Well, I thought you were just playing around with me. And I'm not really friendly with Soji.
You came together today, right? Did he try to make a pass at you while I wasn't around?
He was worried about me. It made me get butterflies in my stomach, but I was happy. Don't worry. There's really nothing between me and Soji. Not now, but later there will be. Not in this route, though.
Even if that's what you think, he might think differently. He said he'd stayed at the base so he could be by your side.
He actually told you that? Soji said that to you, too?
What do you mean, you two? Did he really hit on you?
It seemed like he didn't actually hear that from Soji. I said too much. He was only teasing me. Soji seems like the type that enjoys teasing other people. I panicked and tried to rationalize the situation. I let out a deep sigh.
You really need to watch out. This is why I worry all the time.
Sanosuke held my hand. I gripped his in return. I only have eyes for you, Sanosuke. I smiled and Sanosuke looked puzzled. His cheeks were dyed red. What's wrong?
Give me a break. That wasn't fair saying something like that.
I was surprised when Sanosuke covered his face with one of his hands. I was concerned and tried to look at his face, but he took it as an opportunity to kiss me. Sanosuke!
I don't doubt you, Chizuru. I know you can't ignore the people around you, but you have to be careful. You never know what's going to happen if you're this careless.
Only you would do something like that, Sanosuke.
What are you talking about? You really don't know how cute you really are. It's so dangerous, and watch.
He gently embraced me. Without hesitation, he touched me and whispered into my ear. I questioned who I should be wary of. Are you sure it's okay to stay around here, Sanosuke? I thought Shinpachi told you to follow him. I remembered something important and raised my voice.
Oh, I'm sure he's disobeying his orders. It wouldn't make a difference if I ran after him now.
Sanosuke smiled awkwardly. Sorry,
It's okay. It's not your fault. In fact, you helped to bring me back to my senses.
Huh?
Oh, are you okay now?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to help put out the fire to the best of my abilities. Go back to the base and wait for me.
He patted me on the head as he stood up. Sanosuke went toward the fire. I stood up as well and spoke. I want to help. I want to help.
What? You fainted a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I should probably get some rest and get some of that smoke out of my lungs. Sanosuke looked troubled and smiled awkwardly. Still, I want to help you.
You are helping me. If I know someone's waiting for me to come home, then I can do my best. Not to mention, we're the ones who started the fire. We have to take responsibility for it. I have to stop it with my own hands.
I could only nod after seeing his powerful smile. Sanosuke softly kissed my cheek.
Be a good girl and wait for me. I'll come back to you no matter what.
You better. He then gently smiled at me. You have to, no matter what. I knew he was trying to cheer me up, but I had to say those words.
Oh, I know. You're not even mine yet. There's no way I can let it end like this.
Sanosuke broke the heartfelt mood with his outburst. Wait! Don't say it so loudly! I looked around to see if anyone heard. My face was flushed once again.
You understand what I meant, right? You better be prepared when I come home.
I'm looking forward to it. That's the answer I want to give, and it is the proper answer for the most points. Then, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I can't believe you said that of all people.
Me neither.
It's so unexpected. Don't make me change my mind. My resolve might waver if I can't stand waiting to see you again. And then again, I have to live up to your expectations no matter what happens.
Sanosuke was a little embarrassed, but he smiled at me again. My heart was stirred up like a storm. Sanosuke left. Nevertheless, I knew he would come back to me soon. I believed in his words and returned to the base. I'm not going to help put out the fires? I helped the wounded soldiers and prepared dinner as I waited for Sanosuke to return. However, evening had already come, and Sanosuke hadn't returned yet. After the incidents that day, the Shinsengumi went after the retreating Choshu. The next day, they even went after the leader at Mount Tenno. I heard about all these events, but not one thing about them saving the townspeople. The flames didn't stop at the Tokatsukasa residence. There was another one at the Choshu residence in Kawahara. The casualties were immense. The fires were still raging even now. They didn't reach the base, but I packed my things in case we needed to evacuate. The only people here were the injured and the sick. They did their best to protect the base. They were in no shape to put out the fires. I thought how Sanosuke must have been fighting the fires. I became anxious. I believed him when he told me he'd come back no matter what, but I was worried he was engulfed in the strong flames. The more time had passed, my thoughts felt more realistic. They were crushing my heart. Even after 2 days, Sanosuke hadn't come back. He hasn't come back yet. I will believe in Sanosuke and wait for him. I should believe in Sanosuke and wait here. That's what he promised. He told me he would do his best because someone was waiting for him at home. He didn't even come to eat my dinner that I made for him. If I didn't do that and got injured, I'm sure he'd be really sad. When Sanosuke comes home, I want to be the first one to see him. I want to show him my smile and hug him. He would, of course, be exhausted. I wanted to nurse him back to health. With those feelings, I was again determined to wait for him. I prayed for his safety. It had been 3 days. The huge fire called Dondonyaki finally subsided. The Hamaguri rebellion had also come to a close. The next day, the Shinsengumi returned. All those things were wonderful to hear, but what? Where's Sanosuke? I worried by myself in my room. My door slowly opened. We're gonna close the chapter on that note? No! Lucky for you all, I'm diving right into the next episode, which looks promising already with just that picture. Crimson, you're my reason for living. I don't know, I'm following a guide for the mobile version, for which there are 3 endings, so I'm a little bit confused as to how you get the different endings, though, because 2 of them say you require 20% likability, and 1 of them is require 100% likability. So, it doesn't say anything more than that. If you need 20% for the other 2, then what's the difference between getting them? It doesn't say there's different choices or anything. I don't know, I guess I might have to find a different guide later on. But anyway, tune in for the next episode for the first ending of his, and I'll check about other endings after that. So hope to see you there or in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.